This has Padre fans fired up as award season is here. Who on the Padres has won or is nominated, and who deserves it, who doesn't? Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest with your host, Andrew. Today we have some nominations to go over. And like I said, who deserves it, who doesn't? I know you guys will have your opinions like you always do. But let's just talk about it. Real quick, we did just pass our 2750 goal. And I already am working on a duo video that me and Christian are going to do. So be prepared for that. I don't know when it's going to come out, but hopefully sometime soon. If we can somehow get like 300 subscribers in like, 8 days, that'd be great. If not, it's okay. We're getting close, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. But let's start with the Silver Sluggers. Now, third base is Manny Machado, and this one might surprise some people. At utility is Jake Cronenworth. To be clear, not second base, but utility. Utility as in he plays in a lot of different places, because as we saw, Cronenworth can play first base, Cronenworth can play shortstop, and he can play second. He mostly played at second, but he can play anywhere, right? So I know you guys have a lot of thoughts, especially on Jake Cronenworth, and this is where I really put an emphasis on the fired up. I don't mean fired up like they're hype. I mean some Padre fans, and I've read them, the comments, they have pitchforks. They are up in arms about Cronenworth being nominated. You would think a fan base would be happy about one of their players being nominated for a prestigious award. No, not really. I am a certified Jake Cronenworth defender. I will die on this hill. I've said it before. I don't think he's a great second baseman. I don't think he's an all-star like he used to be, but I think for what we pay him, he does a fine to good enough job. But we'll talk about it in a sec. So here are the other nominations. We don't really care about everyone else, but as you can see, for third base, we got Matt Chapman, Manny Machado, Max Muncy, Austin Riley, and for utility, we have two Cardinals, apparently, which is kind of weird to me, but whatever. Alec Burleson, I can read. Jake Cronenworth, Brendan Donovan. Reading is hard. So let's talk about the big question you probably have. Do they deserve it? Well, let's start with Manny Arturo Machado. So I don't know why I've never used his website before, but StatHead Baseball. Let's compare all four. And as you can probably tell from the fact that most of the numbers go towards Machado, that yes, Manny Machado does in fact deserve the award. I mean, he's played the most games out of literally everyone by can I say a lot? Is 30 games a lot? I think so, a lot. Most plate appearances, most hits, most home runs, most RBIs, most stolen bases, which is kind of weird, but also kind of makes sense because they're not really that fast third basemen. Batting average, and then everything else is not top, but it's pretty close. I mean, look at Slug, just below Max Muncy. But yeah, and also he was a all-star. So it'd be pretty rigged if Manny Machado does not win this category. Yes, I know Dodger fans want to ride or die for Max Muncy, and he did have a better year than he has had recently. But yeah, I mean, Austin Riley and the whole Braves had a down year. Matt Chapman, he plays for the Giants, but he had a pretty good year, to be honest. I mean, batting average-wise, not great, but it's not horrible. Right, his stats are, like, kind of similar. I don't want to say that. I was going to say they're kind of similar to Jake Cronenworth, but not really, because his slug is much better. So I'm going to retract that statement. But yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty crazy if Machado did not win. Let's put it that way. And then this is where he stacks up WAR-wise with the entire NL. Now, he's at number 10. So just to be clear, this is all third basemen that have played for the team, so not just him in general, but since he's played 159 games, some at DH, some at third base. But the majority of these stats are going to be his, right? But as you can see, according to WAR, which I know is not the be-all, end-all of stats, but wins above replacement, he is 10th, which I know might scare some of you guys, but look at the top teams. They're mostly AL teams. Silver Sluggers are given out to NL and AL teams. So, of course, like Jose Ramirez and like the other top players are going to be up there. But then when it comes to NL, the only one above Machado in WAR is Matt Chapman. So, yeah, I mean, I think he has, I don't want to say on lock, but a very good chance. And I mean, you've seen it. He's had a pretty good year. Besides August, where he was like the coldest hitter in the entire league, he had a pretty good year. And he was one of the reasons why we won the only NL wildcard game we won. Also, partly kind of the reason we lost. But you know what? We're not going to get into that. But yeah, Machado, I think, looks good. Good picture for him. And then next is, of course, utility with Jake Cronenworth. And this is where it's going to, I don't want to say piss you guys off, but it might. I don't know. But compared to them, let's just say he has good on-base percentage. Everything else, not that great. I mean, compared to everyone else, not that great. And utility is not really known for their like hitting prowess. They're more known for their glove, because they can play anywhere. That's the whole point. So I don't really know why we have utility silver sluggers, but I'm not going to complain, right? But it's probably going to be Alec Burleson. So yeah, don't get too excited. That being said, I don't think, like I've said, Jake Cronenworth has had a bad year by any metric. I mean, WAR-wise, he had a better year than Alec Burleson. So yeah, take with that as you will. But I have some images that I saw. People were fighting on Reddit. So let's talk about that. Also, I saw this just to back up that I still don't think that Jake Cronenworth is a bad player. I mean, he's below the utility glove winner or utility silver slugger winner, or going to be. But I mean, he's, according to this website, better than Altuve, who does not play second base anymore. I'm pretty sure he plays left field now, but whatever. Brandon Lowe, Bryson Stott, Gleyber Torres. So he's not bad. He's not great, but he's not bad, right? So let's look at some comments. Jake isn't a star by any means, but he had a pretty productive year, 108 OPS plus, which means he's 8% better than the average, and a 2.4 B-WAR. It was his best year since 2022. Also, please apply if you want to. Except 0 for 22 in the playoff or something horrendous. Yeah, he did horrible in the playoffs. I'm not saying he didn't play horrible in the playoffs, but there's so much more to a year than just 3 games. Jake deserves the most likely to end an inning with runners in scoring position award, aka he's not clutch. But this stat says he slashed 287, 404, 802 for 118 OPS plus with runners in scoring position. So he wasn't unclutch in the playoffs. Yes. In the regular season, not really. And I know you're going to say, Andrew, regular season doesn't matter. All that matters is that you perform in the postseason. And I don't disagree with you, but I think you're just being mean. At that point, I think you're just being mean. But last thing, for all the people hating on Jake, he had a 367 OBP, which is tied for 7th in the NL with Freddie Freeman. He actually had a pretty good season now, notwithstanding the wildcard series. He had an F-WAR of 5, which is 8th among MLB second basemen. They also include Xander for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not suggesting Cronenworth is an elite offensive player in every category, but he's a significantly better than average second baseman overall, and his contract is a good value for the production he provides. He was above average in WAR. His OPS plus means he was 8% better. We saw that already. RBI doesn't really tell the whole story because it's dependent on who is on in front of him. He was second among second basemen in OBP. He wasn't an all-star, but he was a solid player and a great 7-8 hitter, and I don't know why y'all hate on him. So this is the best way I think I can describe Jake Cronenworth. If you look at certain stats and you cherry pick, you'll see he's a bad player. If you look at certain stats and you cherry pick, you'll see that he's a solid player. So if you take those overall and you get really good stats mixed with really bad stats, you combine into a fine average player. And we're not paying him like 20 million. Yes, 11 million is not nothing, but it's definitely not like what contracts are nowadays. So for the increase in contract value, which is going up every single year, I think he's a fine contract in a position where we don't need a super slugger. We just need someone to get on base and score some runs. So if this video makes you like Cronenworth more or hate him more, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is to know that he is a nominee for Silver Slugger. Not going to win, but he's a nominee, which is something. It's kind of like, remember when we had Juan Soto and he was a Gold Glove nominee, even though he's like the worst fielder ever? It kind of feels like that, but not really, because I think Jake Cronenworth deserves a mention, but I don't think he deserves to win. Let's put it that way. But I can show you again his stats for the rest of the league. This is for second baseman, not utility, but 13th according to WAR. So again, not great, not horrible, just about average, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. He played 100, or how many games did he play? That doesn't say on here, does it? Where'd it go? 135. He played 135 out of 162 games. So like he goes out there, he plays his best. His best might not be great, but he puts his heart out there, and that's all you can really ask for. I don't know why my English just failed right there, but you know me. Speaking is hard. But finally, just a quick mention. Gold Glove finalist for Tatis Jr. in right field. This is everybody. I'm a little surprised Cronenworth is not a utility pick. I feel like his glove is really good, but I don't really know exactly all of these players, so I assume they're really good. That's why they were nominated. But there's nothing that really like stands out as like crazy. I mean, I would have loved to see Merrill in center field, but PCA had one of the best center fielder years in a while, so he'll probably win. I think Victor Scott had a really good year too, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I don't hate any of these picks. I just wish there were more Padres to make me feel better. But let's ask the big question. Does Tatis deserve to win? This should probably sum it up pretty easily for you. Out of all the right fielders in baseball, Tatis defensively is number 1. He is number 1 with a 9 on fielding run value. His range is 7, which is really good. His arm is 2, which is not as good as it has been, but still pretty good, right? You can see compared to everyone else. Mike Yastrzemski with 5. That's crazy, but he's number 1. If he doesn't win over Sal Frelick and Corbin Carroll, or whoever else it was, let me see. Yeah, Sal Frelick, Corbin Carroll. We're going to have some problems. We're going to have some riots on hand because there is no way Tatis is not going to win the Gold Glove. Platinum, maybe not. Like I said, PCA, Patrick Bailey, they had very, very good years, so they'll probably win it. But he already has a Platinum Glove, so he's not going to be Nolan Arenado winning it every single year for like 10 years straight. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Do you agree with the MLB's picks? Do you think Machado deserves it? Do you think Cronenworth deserves a nomination? Do you think he deserves to win? And do you think Tatis deserves the Gold Glove? I mean, you saw him rob like 5 home runs this year, so I don't know how you would say he doesn't. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, please subscribe and go Padres. Goodbye.